Back during the 2016 election, Bernie Sanders and his philosophy and his plans were described, depending on who you talk to, as crazy or extreme or pie in the sky or too expensive to actually have happen. And we now find out, despite that, they're embraced by the vast majority of pretty much every group in America. And the reason that I think that this is significant is already, and we're still years out from the next presidential election, more and more politicians appear to be templating at least some of their platform on the ideas that were given a test run during Bernie Sanders' candidacy, let alone the fact that it's entirely possible that he himself will run again. And so this is significant for the Democratic Party in general and potentially for the fate of the White House as well. And so let's take a look at what people think about some of his plans, including the core philosophy, and that is that we need a political revolution to redistribute the wealth that has been taken from working Americans and take it back from the wealthy that have been doing the stealing for a number of decades. If we can bring up this chart, you're gonna see broken down by groups. The darker bar is the people who agree that we need that. Overall, it polls 54% approve to 30% disagree. That's fairly overwhelming consensus, but you'll see that in certain groups, the support is even stronger. Independents very much support that concept. Those who didn't vote in 2012 overwhelmingly think that we need that sort of political revolution. So imagine the power of having a person giving across that message, bringing those people back into voting. Even Tea Party supporters overwhelmingly agree with Bernie Sanders on that. All those seniors, not necessarily. We'll have to check with Dianne Feinstein, I'm not sure. But anyway, overwhelming support there. It's independents, it's evangelicals, whites overall agree with it. So very, very positive when it comes to that political revolution concept. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I'm gonna actually take a position that won't be popular on this.
Okay.
I don't buy this.
Okay.
I think people say this, but when they step into the voting booth, it was like when Donald Trump was running. There were people, oh, I would never vote for him. Oh, he's crazy, blah, blah, blah. And they went right in there and voted for him. Now, when you talk about this wealth redistribution by the government, when you take that out there and send out that message will get destroyed as being, socialist, un-American, blah, 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 you name it, any of the names that Bernie Sanders was called, right? And these people, America spoke when they voted for Trump. And these people are not gonna vote for this. These people still believe in that trickle down theory. They're suffering now from the tax cuts, right? You see, a funny thing going on, in my opinion, is all these teacher strikes and these people like education being decimated in Arizona and Kentucky and I think it's Arkansas or Oklahoma, whatever. These are all red states. These are all states that voted, oh, we don't want to pay taxes. Well, guess what? Your schools suck.
Yeah.
Your teachers are underpaid.
But they seem to be waking up to that.
Because you don't want to pay, you didn't want to pay tax. But are they? The teachers are the one protesting. Are the people going to vote? Are the people willing to pay taxes to have good schools? Now on a poll, they'll always say yes. Of course we would. But when it actually comes down to doing it, will they do it? So this is a poll that when you ask people like, yeah, do you agree that there should be wealth redistribution and the 1% has all the money and the middle class should have more? They're like, yeah. And then you say, well, we're gonna have to raise tax. Oh no, that.
But what if it is pitched as raising taxes on the 1% or on corporations? At the very least, getting the taxes back to where they were a couple of months ago.
We'll see, but so far America has been allergic to anything that says raise taxes on anybody, even when it makes sense.
Yeah, no, I really see where Alonzo's coming from on this. I do think that these polls are, they're false positives in a way. You sort of experience them. There are a lot of them right now. They're regarding Trump's approval rating or what do you want in the country. But it is true that when, now I was gonna say when the votes come up, they vote for lower taxes, tax cuts, or things masquerading as tax cuts, right? Because this last tax cut or tax redistribution is really just a redistribution to the top. And then of course the tax cuts will have a sunset in them and they're not really across the board. We know what a fraud that is. So I'm kind of I see your point, John, which is sort of we should be encouraged by this and maybe this is the beginning, the stirrings of the electorate en masse beginning to change. It's just that I'm kind of with Alonzo on this. I really don't see it in the voting booth. And I certainly don't see it in the guys they're sending to Washington.
Yeah, look, I do disagree, and I disagree for a couple of different reasons. I think, first of all, so you mentioned the support for the whole trickle-down idea. I think that theoretically, there could be some people who still believe in some level that that's true, but the recent tax bill has like 26% approval rating. Like, people overwhelmingly hate it. That means that 7 or 8 points worth of Trump's core supporters don't support the tax bill, which I think is positive, and probably every other reasonable person in the country. I think that in reference to them voting for Trump, I think that, well, look, realistically, in terms of the actual policies, I mean, Hillary Clinton obviously is closer to these goals than Donald Trump. Donald Trump tried to pitch himself as a person who was going to go against Wall Street. He was going to take through, the pass-through income and all that stuff. I mean, he's lying about all that, but he said it. And I think that some people supported him because he seemed more likely than Hillary Clinton to go against those wealthy interests.
That's a fair point. It was a populist message. That's actually a very good point in that his fraud, because our electorate is the way they are, at least on the Trumpian side of things, they bought it or they hoped for it, to be fair to them, to give them the benefit of the doubt. But you're right, it was a populist message. Still, the people that are sent to Washington who did pull off that tax steal, I mean, that it was an absolute robbery.
I agree with you there.
They are not reflecting the constituency that is talked about in that poll.
And again, John, I hope you're right. I wish you were right. But when you have something like this, when you have this issue, wealth redistribution, a political revolution, they can destroy this like, oh, they're going to take your guns. You know what I mean? Like they come.
But they're going to say that no matter who the Democratic candidate is.
But see, that works though. You know what I mean? Like that wipes out a percentage of people vote against their own interests. It was proven in this past election. They vote against their own, so they vote against their economic interests over some, Second Amendment thing that was never said. Like no Democrat ever said, "Oh, we're coming to your house to take your guns," but they got them to actually believe it.
Let's turn briefly to. So I agree with you. I think that message, just wealth redistribution. I think Republicans are primed to try to attack that, and probably a lot of people are primed to listen to that. But I think that when it's delivered, it won't be delivered like that. It'll be delivered in relation to particular things that this redistribution will be for, that you'll get. So let's turn to that and see if maybe that's a little bit more convincing. This next chart is going to show support for what that redistribution would actually look like. So raising taxes on the wealthy is just about the most popular thing in the country, even though you wouldn't, again, see from who they send to Washington. Raising taxes on big corporations, but then what would you spend it on? Well, single payer and free college are both very popular things that you could use that for. And I think, well, I agree, nobody wants their taxes to be higher. And even if Bernie Sanders came out and said we are literally only raising taxes on the top 3% of all income earners, they will try to convince you that your taxes will go up too. I don't doubt that. But if you then think, well, but I'm also gonna have free healthcare and maybe my kids can go to college for free, I think that is one way to reassure regular people that it will actually help them out in the end. I don't know for sure. This is just.
I do think that what you want to take from that is some of the message that should be screamed loudly in this next election cycle. And I think that's what you're sort of implying. It's just that I don't know. I don't know how, when it actually comes to the legislators that they send, there's a disconnect. These guys, they should have gotten ski masks and guns because, as you say, the country didn't support this tax cut, but they just went through with it. Right. Why? Because they're a bunch of rich guys taking care of other rich guys.
And hopefully they will pay for it come November.
The disconnect you're talking about, and again, this sounds great and this looks great, but the disconnect you're talking about is lobbyist money.
Exactly.
So you could tell somebody that, yeah, your kid's gonna your taxes are gonna go up a little, but you're gonna get health care and your kids are gonna go to college for free. And people are like, that's great, that's worth it. And then in between, the lobbyist for college tuition goes to the congressman or legislator and says, free college? Here's $10 million saying college shouldn't be free. And suddenly college isn't free, so that's a disconnect. Again, I think these are great messages.
To get out in front of that.
And I hope people support this, but it's one of those things like, how do you argue? And this came up when Bernie was running, right? There were people who were against free college. And you're like, how do you argue with somebody who's like, what do you mean you're against free? Like, what's the downside? You know what I mean?
I remember Hillary's argument against his plan was that because technically the wealthy would also have access to it, that's a waste of money. I went to UConn. I don't think that like the Koch brothers' grandkids are like, well, if I can go to UConn for free, I'm going to go to UConn for free. I don't think that's actually happening. It was a ridiculous
You
argument.
can only go to UConn for
right.
free if you're a great women's basketball player.
Exactly, that's true.
Then
That's
you go.
true. We did have a lot of them. We did.
2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below. Then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.